Hi, this is Dr. Whiting, and today I want to talk to you about what I consider the most ignored epidemic, perhaps worldwide, and that's called systemic candidiasis. Candida, which is a naturally occurring organism found in all human beings, can, under certain circumstances, cause a tremendous amount of side effects. Now, there's hardly any woman alive who hasn't at one time or another in her life experienced a localized vaginal yeast infection. Well, that condition is caused by the Candida albicans organism. Now, what you need to understand about this particular organism is that each one of us carries this organism in our gastrointestinal tract. And as long as everything is equal or balanced, it doesn't seem to cause any harm one way or the other. In fact, inside your gut or intestinal lining, you have another group of organisms called the healthy bacteria. And those healthy bacteria include Acidophilus, Bifidus, a whole variety of various strains. Well, the good guys, the good bacteria, keep the Candida bugs, as it were, in line. They kind of balance each other out. Now, here comes the problem. Whenever we do something or get into a situation where we're damaging or reducing greatly the amount of the healthy bacteria in our gastrointestinal tract, that allows the Candida organism to explosively multiply. Now, under what circumstances might that occur? Well, first of all, when you use antibiotics. And this can be easily illustrated because when most women get that vaginal yeast infection, it's right after taking 10 or 14 days worth of antibiotic. See, the antibiotic destroys all bacteria, not just the bad guys, but it kills the good ones in your intestinal tract as well. And once they've died off, that allows that Candida just to take off, and here we go. And over time, that Candida can filter down through the genitourinary tract and get into the vaginal region where it is nice and warm and moist and dark, and we're off and running. And it starts to multiply, causing a very serious irritation and discomfort. This is what we call a localized yeast infection. And as uncomfortable as it can be, it is much easier treated than its systemic sister. How does the yeast become systemic? And when we say systemic, we're talking about it goes throughout the whole body. Well, let's just say you have that vaginal yeast infection, and you get some more severe irritation, and you get a little bleeding. Well, if you've got a little blood exchange, there's a very short step for that Candida to get in your bloodstream. Another circumstance might be if you have a disorder of your colon, such as colitis, diverticulitis. Those suffering from Crohn's disease frequently have this problem because the Crohn's situation can frequently attack the small and more especially the large intestine or colon. Anytime that you get this Candida organism from the intestinal tract into your bloodstream, we are off and running, and you are on your way to developing what's called a systemic yeast infection or systemic candidiasis. Common sites for the Candida to take up residence and start to multiply and grow into colonies are the stomach, the liver, the lungs, the bronchioles, the sinuses, and even the brain. And here at our research center, we have seen many individuals who had a large overgrowth of systemic yeast in brain fluid. And some of the symptoms of systemic candidiasis, you see, there's no medical test for this, because anytime you go somewhere and you get tested for the presence of Candida, well, we all test positive for it because we all have it. And when it stays home where it belongs, we're good. But when it gets into the bloodstream, it can cause all sorts of symptoms and side effects. That sort of spacey, disconnected feeling, fatigue, constipation, altering with diarrhea, and back and forth, a tingling in the hands and feet for no apparent reason, headaches for no reason, reduced or poor memory, especially short-term memory, repeated vaginal yeast infections and problems in women, and repeated prostatitis or prostate infections in men. In fact, there are dozens of symptoms that can be associated with systemic yeast problems.